Our firm regularly handles residential real estate transactions here in Lake County, Illinois, representing both sellers of property as well as the purchasers. The purpose of this video is to address a very common question we get from people who are buying a property, especially those who are first-time buyers, which is what kind of closing costs should I expect? The answer to that question is that every transaction is unique and they will vary from case to case, but we can give you some general guidelines about what things you should expect to pay. The first thing that we can tell you is that we charge a flat fee of $500 payable at the time of closing, which handles review of your sales contract, negotiations on home inspection issues, making sure your mortgage lender receives all the documents and information they need to proceed forward to closing, and of course attendance at the closing, where we will review everything that you're paying for, as well as all the closing and loan documents, so that you understand the specifics of the transaction. One of the other costs that you can typically expect to pay, and it's not really a cost, but it's actually a credit to you, is a real estate tax proration credit. Illinois charges real estate taxes a year in arrears, meaning that we are currently in April of 2017. We have not yet received the 2016 tax bills. Those will be coming out in the near future. But at the time that you close on your real estate, the tax bill for the year of your closing will not be available. You don't want to have to chase down your seller later on in the future when the new tax bill comes out and say, hey, you own the property for part of the year, I want you to pay my share. So what we will require the seller to do is give you a credit based upon an estimate for a prorated share of the real estate taxes for the year when the closing takes place. Most of the closing costs that you are going to pay are going to be dictated by your lender. If you take out a mortgage loan, they are going to have certain fees and charges, including things like origination fees and appraisal fees. Those fees should be disclosed to you up front by your loan officer at the time that you apply for the loan, and there can't be a significant variance from what they quote you to what they actually charge you at the time that you close on the property. The final closing fees that you can expect come from the title insurance company. We will not represent a buyer in the purchase of real estate unless they receive title insurance. It's insurance that you get that guarantees that you're going to own this property free and clear, that there's no unpaid judgments, liens, or taxes against the property that could come back to haunt you at some point in the future. There are 2 insurance policies issued at every closing. The seller typically pays for an owner's policy of title insurance guaranteeing you, the buyer, of clean title. The buyer will pay for a loan policy of title insurance guaranteeing the lender that their mortgage is going to be the first lien on the property that you are acquiring. The other thing that a buyer will pay for is an escrow settlement fee. The title company that handles the transaction is required to handle a large amount of money. They will take your down payment on the property, as well as the loan proceeds that they receive from the lender, and their obligation is to make sure that everybody who is owed on the transaction is timely paid the amounts that are due to them, so that the account comes out to a zero balance, meaning that every penny that comes in is paid out properly to the parties who are owed. The total fees that are going to be charged by a title company to a buyer for both the escrow closing fee and the buyer's share of title insurance, again, are going to vary from case to case. But these days, most of our clients are paying somewhere between about $2,200 and $2,800 per transaction. So your loan officer should factor that into the disclosures you receive when you apply for your loan, but that is a cost that you can expect to pay at the time that you close. If you have any additional questions, or if you need any assistance with purchase of residential real estate in Lake County, Illinois, feel free to contact us here at 847-599-9101.